Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. Master, a jnani sees everything at once. God, Maya, the universe and all living beings. He sees that Vidya Maya, Avidya Maya, the universe and all living beings exist and at the same time do not exist. As long as he is conscious of I, he is conscious of others too. Nothing whatsoever exists after he cuts through the whole thing with the sword of jnana. Then even his I becomes as unreal as magic of the magician. The collective oneness. There is one and one alone, without a duality. That is the ultimate reality. And if he sees anything other than that, when duality comes into picture, he is also there. The subject and objects are there. Till then, only subject and ocean of bliss and bliss alone was there. When in the enlightened state, when he comes to the bodily identity, he sees multiplicity. But the knowledge that one has become many doesn't go. He sees the whole play going on. And the background screen is still there. When the play is going on in a television, this television screen, so many people are coming, going, everything. Screen is there, but is covered by this glamour, which is dancing on the various color combinations. Looks like humans, as it is. World is displayed as if the colors, this, that, depth, everything is given there. And that makes me feel. And the screen, though it is there behind, on which it is happening, without screen, it would not have been possible to have. Without the Nirguna Nirakara, there would not have been the Saguna Sakara at all. Without the background, there cannot be display going on of the world or individual. Duality is there, means there is already. Absolute is there. In and through all this, and as a substratum base, it is there. When enlightenment state comes, when he is enlightened and is in the state of experience that oneness of all that exists, there is one reality, one notion. When he goes back to the source and sees the one without a second, then he is that absolute bliss, and he is in the bliss as bliss, enveloped by bliss. That alone is there. A absolute existence, a subject with an object. When after this enlightenment, when he sees duality, he is seeing whole duality as manifestation. Vidya, Avidya, Maya, all these are like dream. Suppose you wake up yourself, you are awake while seeing the dream, that is dream. Oh, all these are mind alone has become all this. If you know that the knowledge, how it would be. That he knows everything play is going on. It is a play. one has even is appearing as many. It is not has become, but appearing as many, appearing as this world. Same one is appearing this. He sees the magician, magic, everything as one. One whole. The Vidya Maya, the Vidya Maya, the universe, the God and all this. Ishvara, Jiva, everything is one. Yeah. When it comes to the bodily identity and sees, then the knowledge doesn't go off. When we wake up from dream, the knowledge that dream was unreal and false, we come to know. But when we enter into dream again, our waking state is totally erased and dream state is projected. And this dream is unreal, will never be known. When we go to the samadhi sthiti and come back to the waking state again, it's called vyuthana sthiti. So when he comes back to vyuthana, we don't call it jagrat. It is turiya is beyond jagrat, swapna, sushupti. This samadhi sthiti is beyond the three. There is no more coming back. Once you enter into samadhi, you cannot come back to the waking state again. You come to a state wherein you are seeing God as this universe. Till then, mine, yours, Maya was making it see many different. Never you can see two or one. But after enlightenment, only one God is appearing this way. That knowledge will be there. So we don't call it waking state, coming normal consciousness. We generally use in gospel and all, Sri Ramakrishna came back to the normal consciousness to make ourselves understand. But when he comes back, he sees God has become one. No more ajnana. No more, he will not see the world he was seeing earlier anymore. So when it is called vyuthana sthiti. So there are totally 5 states of existence which we pass through. Commonly we Jagra, Swapna, Sushupti, waking, dreaming and deep sleep. This we are commonly passing through. But when you go into the Samadhi sthiti of experiencing God directly with form or without form, after that these 3 drop away. Waking, dreamings, you cannot enter waking, dreaming and deep sleep anymore. Even if you see, in dream also it's a play of the absolute. God has become the dream world. That identity with this is not forgotten, and you are a witness of the dream state, not a participant of the dream state. You are a witness of the deep sleep, not a participant of the deep sleep. You are a witness of the waking world, and you are not a participant of the waking, just you are a witness. And see the unreal as unreal, real as real. Now unreal is looking like real. So this, when he comes back from Samadhi, it's called Vyuthana Sthiti. In Vyuthana is where he sees everything as God. He is God for him. Sri Ramakrishna is telling, after enlightenment, there is oneness. Magician and magic become one. Even then, I becomes unreal as magic. At that time, I am seeing, I am going, everything becomes, knows, experience as unreal. Yam was reflecting on these words when Master said, "Do you know what it is like? It is as if there were flower and 25 layers of petals, and you cut them all with one stroke." As if there were a flower, as if there were a flower with 25 layers of petals. A flower, 25 layers of petals. You cut them all with one stroke. The idea of responsibility. It's what does he mean by cutting off by in one stroke? Means it is one which was appearing as many and it dispersed. Just like you are seeing a television and somebody comes and puts off the light, current. Chuck, it goes off. One stroke, it is gone. You're seeing something seriously and children come and put off the television, how it suddenly disappears, you see. Like that, the world disappears in a moment. Or world you are seeing and world disappears. Or you are seeing the absolute, world suddenly appears. But when it appears again, it is God in that. God has taken the form. The idea of responsibility, goodness gracious, is wondering. Men like Shankaracharya and Shukadeva kept the ego of knowledge, jnana, ahankara, I know. Kartritva, bhoktritva. Ahankara has three aspects: kartritva, bhoktritva, jnatritva. Doership, enjoyership, and the knowledge, knowership. This knowership is retained, and kartritva, doership, is associated with I will teach them, I will give them this knowledge, I have knowledge. The enjoyership is totally drops off. No enjoyments of any type. Even in giving or taking, blessing them, he doesn't have any participation in the enjoyments. Now suppose a hungry man is not able to move because of the hunger. Suppose he has not taken food for 2-3 days, totally collapsing. You give him food. He, little by little, is not even able to eat. Little by little, as he eats, he is able to capable of understanding where is he, what is he. And when he finishes his meal, he thanks. You feel him happy, and you will enjoy. Oh, thank God, I could do that. I am enjoying that. That I have given, he has become all right, and that feeling is there. Even that won't be there. The kartritva, bhoktritva of any type won't be there. Mother feeds the child. She feels so much comfortable, so much joy in feeding the child, that she also is enjoying. Nice food she prepares and feeds the child. And as the child is enjoying, the mother is enjoying the child eating. That also it doesn't. In jnana, giving jnana, there is no enjoyments. He is seeking the absolute enjoyment should be got, absolute fulfillment should be got by the others. I have got, I don't, it is like he is Purna. What can you add to it? He is ocean. What can you add to it? 100 pots of water? Doesn't matter. Any enjoyment is in the bliss, Ananda Sakara. Nothing can give him enjoyment. He wants to make others become that Purnatva, attain that Purnatva. It is not for man to show compassion, but for God. One feels compassion as long as one has the ego of knowledge. Jnana, if the ego of knowledge is there, there is the other part. Compassion also comes into picture. And it is God Himself who has become the ego of knowledge. Jnana, ahankara of knowing. I know God. I will teach them. You may feel, actually, enlightened soul will not have the ego also. God or the nature keeps ego in him and gets it done. And Jnani is aware. Divine Mother, Mother Nature, or God is utilizing me to help others. He is fully clear and fully is aware because he is enlightened. You may feel 1,000 times that it's all magic, but you are still under the control of Divine Mother. Even enlightened soul is not of himself. Now you see Vivekananda's life. He was enlightened itself. He is one of the Saptarishis sitting in the absolute existence. As in bliss, ocean of bliss, as bliss is sitting there. Ananda Sagara. Himself is Anandamaya. Ananda Ghana is experiencing. And that for the sake of people, to uplift them, to give them knowledge, he comes down. He is now that he passes through all the stages just because he has put on a cover of bodily existence and come to the world of mortals. He again struggles to remove the cover he has accepted to be put upon him. When divine orders, we have to go to the world, lower world to help the jivas. Accepting, covering himself with ajnana, he comes down, takes the human birth and moves about, going to school and all this. How that ignorance is covering him. And then spiritual struggle begins. This spiritual struggle is an example for others. How difficult it is, how troublesome it is to do and offer it. Now that struggle is, all that struggle he passes through comes out successfully as after attaining the full knowledge of Nirvikalpa. He is fully enlightened. He doesn't need anything more, nor he has anything less. He is Purna. After that, Divine Mother binds him, you see. Sri Ramakrishna binds him. He says, still the work of the mother is over. You will not get this key again of experiencing Nirvikalpa. When your work is finished, I will give back this key. Now, enlightened soul, who is enlightened before, having brought him, covering, he struggled and put off the veil that was put upon him. Still, he doesn't have freedom, you see. He is free from nature. Birth, death, suffering, joys cannot be given by even nature. But she's making him do the work. How she keeps the ego again, makes him work for the welfare of the others, covers his knowledge with ignorance, and makes him work in the world. That Sri Ramakrishna is telling, even after enlightenment, you are still under the jurisdiction of Divine Mother. A man attains Brahmajnana only when it is given up, when it is given to him by Adhyashakti, the Divine Mother. Then alone does he see the whole thing as magic. This is magic going on. Oh, what an enjoyable state it is to know it's all unreal plays going on. Just for my sake, the play as if going on. when Naren Vivekananda came to Karnataka on his great journey as Parivrajaka, the kings used to entertain him. And Mysore Maharaja, the king of Mysore, that is whole of Karnataka, he was there. And he called Swamiji to his asthana, and one day the singing was arranged by, they come to know he is a good singer, and singing goes on. Whole is only the small group, his own intimate inner circle of the king, in a small personal auditorium like darbar. It is not public or nobody else other than the family members. A few who are intimately known, their family friends, they will be there. All will be, Swamiji will be asked to sing. And then Astan Pandit, both who is expert in music and scriptural knowledge, is a Pandit. Sanskrit, this, that, Chandas, everything he knows. Music also. In those days, kings means he must know everything. He must be able to compose a song, present a song instantly. He must be able to fight with anybody calling for challenge. All these capacities, almost every musical instrument they know. Like that, varieties of musics. In India, so many varieties. Dances, they can perform a dance. So much of knowledge, so much of understanding. Scriptures, anybody can challenge and ask questions. So Pandits, you can imagine what kind of Pandit. He was aged person. He was in his perhaps 70s, 80s or so. He used to come for all. He was called for this private meeting with Swamiji and singing of Swamiji. It was evening, and some people were there, and the assistant also of the music, this one, all these people were there. His own family, the king, the queen, their children, and all this, all are singing. Swamiji began singing. Is that mesmerizing voice, beautiful to the core. He starts singing, takes his tanpura and starts singing. One after the other, a few songs after that, it is evening. Everybody, pin drop silence. Everybody is losing themselves in that sweet music of the evening. Sun is setting, as if nature is also participating. Divine grace is flowing. All are happy. Swamiji said, yes, this will do for today. Everybody came back to their senses. Nobody is willing to speak anything. Then the king asked the Pandit, how was the music? He says, excellent. In my lifetime, I had not heard such a voice, such a perfection, which I could experience today. And he sang one raga, I forget it, where ni comes. Something like saranga or some raga, in which the komal comes, he was using in between it with Shuddhaniya also. That was giving a beautiful taste. He presents that raga, that musician, That Pandit presents how this raga actually and how Swamiji modulated it by adding Shuddhani. He explains, and then Swamiji will be looking at him, listening to his words. And then suddenly Swamiji said, "No, I did not sing any raga at all. I was singing all through Viraga, Vairagya. That song also was of Vairagya. And when I was singing Viraga, you saw raga in it. This is, now it is time for you to embrace Viraga. And you are seeing raga in the Viraga. And you are a Pandit. You are still in the raga. Raga means attachment. Viraga means dispassion. He is in 80s, at this age, you are still in ragas. It is time for Viraga. He looks at Swamiji. Swamiji looks at him. Both are joining. About a minute, they look at each other. And Swamiji says, "Yes, Viraga, Viraga. Yes, Viraga." And this musician simply stands up and he doesn't talk anything, just goes to the king's place. When king is sitting on the throne, he goes there. Swami is sitting in the sabha, in a pradhana sthana, singing. And he gets up and goes to the king. He takes out his turban, keeps at the feet of king, doesn't talk, and returns as it is. Everybody is seeing what is happening. He doesn't speak, he places, comes back, bows down to Swamiji, and Swamiji takes out the chadar or upper cover which he was wearing. It was gerwa cloth. He puts on his shoulder. Just like we put the shawl, he puts the on his shoulder. The king will be just seeing. He bows down again with that cloth and walks off from the sabha, never to be seen again. It takes sannyas a long time. His king comes to know he is taken officially sannyasa and living somewhere. This is that how the transformations come in man, how that knowledge, the jnana, how these people awaken, the enlightened awakens in others, how that total renunciation at a moment's call, the call has come from the divine. It is time to go. How it comes, you see. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.